many young people in here or anywhere in the world, they don't want to become a preacher.
Yeah.
They're always thinking about, I want to be a doctor, I want to be an engineer, I want to be a businessman, just thinking to making money.
Yeah.
Don't thinking about making disciples for the Christ.
Yeah.
It's the biggest tragedy.
Yeah.
Every Christian need to think about the future of Christianity in the world.
Yeah.
So we need to, I want to encourage each and every younger man, maybe each and every eldership in the churches. They need to encourage your younger persons, like, yes, you have good skills, you have good speaking skills. Okay, why not? You will become a good preacher.
Yeah.
Let's think about that. So right now it's a big call to every congregation. So it's a wake up.
I think you're right, because you think a lot of times, and it's not like this everywhere, but a majority, I think it's like, oh, this kid is really smart and promising. We're going to push him into be a doctor or a lawyer. It's like, hey, those things are great and they're necessary, but it's like, what is the most important thing you could do? Like the most important thing you could do is serve the Lord. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Authentic Christian Podcast. I'm Aaron. I have two very special guests with me today. This is Praveen and this is Akash. And today we're going to talk about the churches of Christ in India. Okay, so in this episode, I'm really excited because I have two friends here and we're going to talk about the churches of Christ in India. I know lots of guys who do mission work in India, but they happen to they were close by, and so they were able to come here today. And what we want to do is just talk about, they're both from India. We want to talk about what is it like in India for the churches of Christ. I think a lot of times we get in this mindset as Americans. I mean, I've done mission work in Africa, but I've been in America majority of my life, and we think of the church in an American way. If someone does mission work, they understand differently, but I wanted to do an episode with you guys and just ask you questions, really, that a lot of it is new to me, and just help our American viewers. And of course, I know there's people that view this from all over the world, and so help them get maybe a better feeling for what it's like to be a Christian in India. And they're going to see there's some things different, but they're also going to see a lot of it is, hey, it's the same New Testament church. Yeah. We're brothers, from another mother, as you'd say, but from different countries. And it's all the same gospel, same New Testament Christianity. Yeah. So I'm excited for you guys to be here with us today. Let's just start out. So I know some basic statistics about India, but tell our listeners, and I guess me, what are some basic facts about India? How big is India? How big does it compare to other countries in the world?
Yeah. I think many people know about, we are the most populations country in the world. We have a 1.46 billion people population wide now.
That's crazy.
Yes.
That's humongous. So huge.
Yes, it's huge. And sometimes very, very busy, crowded streets everywhere. So we are largest country now. And the way of life in India, it's totally different from here.
Yeah.
Because my special, I have feel like that when I came here in my first time, the places, the houses, the people living in here, it's too far from one house to another home. Yeah. But in India, we are living side by side. Sometimes we can't breathe. Yeah. So that is the life in India. Very busy lives, everyone.
Well, I think about, the United States is, 300 million, 400 million. So it's like you take India, and India is just exponentially larger. I mean, it's no comparison. And like I said, it's the largest country in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you could put the whole population of United States in 2 to 3 states in India.
Yeah.
Yes, that's enough.
Yeah. And India's, what, do you know the land mass size compared to the United States? Is India much larger? Is
land mass size?
Yeah.
No. United States is much larger. Okay. I think if you put India on United States, I think you could put 2 Indias on the United States map, or like 1.5 Indias.
Okay. All right.
Geography wise.
So let's say if it's the size of half of the United States.
Yes.
If you did that, that's still, you have like what, 6, 7, 8 times the the number of people in half the region, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Here, let's get your mic a little closer to you. Don't be afraid of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I won't hit you with it. No.
Okay.
James is off camera and James tells us he's listening. So he tells us if we need to speak up or not. Okay. So let's talk about the importance of religion. You know, from what I've read, it seems like in America, it's always declining, which is a sad thing to see. But it seems like in India, the stat I read is 97% of people believe in God.
Yes.
Like it's a very religious society.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What are some of the main, like, what would you say the main demographics are of religious people in India?
There are many religions in India. India called it's a democratic country.
Yeah.
But we have lots of religions, and most populated, there is a Hindu religion. There is most of the people, maybe it's more than 80% of religion there. And after that, we have Muslims, and Buddhism, and Christians as well as. So there are many religions we have in India, but the most population religion wise is it's a Hinduist religion. It's actually.
Yeah, talking about Christianity, it's 2 to 3%, and according to the demographics that we have right now on internet, it's 28 million Christians. And talking about the Church of Christ, we have approximately 1.3 million people that belong to Church of Christ.
It's 1.3 million Church of Christ. It's just number, what Google gives us.
Yeah, sure.
But we don't know how many there are. Maybe it's
there could be more or less.
More or less. Yes, that's right.
Well, you know, I think I heard someone say recently that there's, I want to say 1 million members of the church, give or take, in the United States. 1 million or plus, you know, because I think 70%, I think I read 70% of the people live rural in India. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
And, you know, then you have like China, which I think has like another million. And like you're saying, who knows, give or take, what is in those numbers. Right. But the thing you mentioned, I think is really cool is even if you were to say, okay, 1.4 billion.
Yeah, 1.4.
And you say, well, only 2 to 3% are Christian. Number one, you'd say that's still tens of millions of people, you know, 27 million. And then you think about the evangelistic opportunity as well, especially with a country that's 97%. So I don't know what that 1.3 billion people who believe in a God, you know? So it seems like there's just lots of, you know, opportunity as well.
Yes.
And so when it comes to evangelistic content, you know, I know that a lot of Christians and you're operating in a minority, you know, where there's a lot of other faiths that predominate, but you have a high belief in God. And so I guess the first thing I really want to ask is you all individually, tell me about your, you know, life. How did you become a Christian? You know, were you converted first? Were your parents converted? Yeah. And I guess just start with you, Praveen, like what is your, I guess, journey? Yes. How did you become a Christian?
Yeah. Could you please, I want to go back. What you are mentioned about.
Yeah, go ahead.
There is a plenty of work in India.
Yeah.
You said that.
Yeah.
You know, yes, what exactly Jesus said.
Yeah.
It's exactly we are facing and what we are exactly doing in India. There is work is so much plenty.
Yeah.
So we are working so hard each and every day.
Yeah.
So we are encouraging each other and we are reaching many people because it's a plenty. You know, just imagine the 97% of people. It's a huge number.
Yeah.
It's not an easy thing.
Yeah.
So it's everywhere, not only in India, but all over world, there is a plenty of work. Jesus said this, it's maybe 2000 years ago, but still it is. I'm really sad about that because many younger people, I want to tell all the younger generation through the Gospel Broadcasting Network, because we talked a lot when I driving from the Batesville, Arkansas here on my way. When we are driving here, we talk a lot. Brother Steve, he bring me here. Many young people in here or anywhere in the world, they don't want to become a preacher.
Yeah.
They're always thinking about, I want to be a doctor, I want to be an engineer, I want to be a businessman. Just thinking to making money.
Yeah.
Don't thinking about making disciples for the Christ.
Yeah.
It's the biggest tragedy.
Yeah.
You know, every Christian need to think about the future of Christianity in the world.
Yeah.
So we need to, personally, I want to encourage each and every younger man, maybe each and every eldership, in the churches, they need to encourage your younger persons. Like, yes, you have good skills, you have good speaking skills. Okay, why not? You will become a good preacher.
Yeah.
Let's think about that. So it's a right now it's a big call to every congregation. So it's a wake up.
I think you're right, because you think a lot of times, and it's not like this everywhere, but a majority, I think it's like, oh, this kid is really smart and promising. We're going to push him in to be a doctor or a lawyer. And it's like, hey, those things are great and they're necessary, but it's like, what is the most important thing you could do? Like the most important thing you could do is serve the Lord. You know?
Actually, we have plenty of doctors in society. We have plenty of engineers. We have plenty of any kind of things. We have plenty of now.
Yeah.
But we can search in for a preacher. There is still, we need a lot of preachers.
Yeah, absolutely. I have congregations all the time. Do you know of a preacher? We're looking for a preacher.
Right.
Etc.
Yes, I know Akash. He is a younger man. He's a good, talented guy. I know very well.
Yeah.
He is a good educated person, but he is thinking he wants to become a good preacher.
Yeah.
Why not? Every younger man think like that.
Yeah.
It's a very important now, very important issue what we are facing in the society.
Yeah.
Because we have a plenty of work. So,
Jesus said, you know, fields are whitened to harvest, but what? The laborers are, that's right.
Laborers are very few.
Very few.
But in future, we don't know what will happen.
That's right.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes. Okay. I'm sorry. It's
no, great, man. Hey, that's what I want. I mean, that's the whole purpose of you guys, is I want you to talk about.
Yes.
And, you know, I think sometimes too, when you're raised in a different culture, you have an appreciation for things, you know, like, look, I remember when I did mission work in Africa and I came home, it was like the moment that woke me up. I mean, I had been a lukewarm American. I was 25. I had a college degree. I thought I was so super smart. I was arrogant. And I met these two 18-year-old if you haven't seen this episode, go watch the story, the benefits of short-term mission work with Mike Reese. I went door knocking. I think I told you guys this the other day, with these two 18-year-old guys from Kenya. And they knew their Bible so well. I was so embarrassed. We went to the next house and they were like, Brother Aaron, we'll let you lead this Bible study. I was like, no, you guys are doing great. Because it's just, in America, the emphasis, I'm painting with too broad a brush, but I'll do it. In America, the emphasis was more on get your degree. I was pre-med, become a doctor, all these things. Whereas I know that's emphasized in other cultures as well. But like what you're saying is like the best thing you can do is be a preacher. You know, I don't know that I had anybody tell me that when I was a teenager. You know, like the best thing you could ever do is become a preacher or an elder or a faithful Christian that, you know, serves bivocationally, which we're going to talk about here in a little bit, which is almost like, you know, in India, you have to do it, you know. Yes, sir. And I think it's like that in Africa a lot as well. But okay, so that was great information. Go ahead.
Sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay.
Tell me about your story.
Yes,
your stories.
I'm a third generation preacher in my family.
Okay.
Yes. Actually, maybe many viewers know about Brother J.C. Bailey.
Okay.
He is a Canadian missionary.
Okay.
So actually, my grandfather, he is working in a army as a soldier. He worked in the World War II also.
Okay.
So he is the only one boy in his family.
Okay.
So he is joined in the army, but his parents is not interested to put him in the it's a pressure thing in the army thing. So they are worrying a lot, and they are write a letter to him, because those days it's a toughest thing to make a calls.
Yeah.
So they wrote a letter. We are so sick. Please come to see us. It's almost done. So he picked up the letter. It took maybe 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
It's a lot of time.
Oh, wow. For the letter to reach him by the time they wrote it.
Yes. After he picked up the letter, after he read that, he came back to his hometown. He lost his parents that time.
Wow. They both.
Yes, wow. They both. After that, he is stay. Yeah. And just he's planning to go back and rejoin in the army. Mm-hmm. And just in those times, exactly that time, the J.C. Bailey team, they are come to the India and they conduct the gospel meetings in several places, several cities and bigger towns. At the time, one day, my grandfather, he is walking on the roadside like that. And he watched that he hears something. Some person, he is shouting very bigger, and he is saying something, and another man, he is translating into
Yeah.
my own language, and he is my grandfather. He wants to learn something, learn new things. He
Yeah.
is so interested about that.
Yeah.
So just he reached that place, and he sit down and hear that news.
Hmm.
So after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, he every day he attended
Came
the
back.
meeting.
Yeah.
After that last day, the JC Bailey, he asked the question. He raised. He gave the invitation to all the person. Everyone here wants to be baptized. Yes.
Wow.
He raised his hands. Yes, I am. Those days it's not an easy thing to convert as a Christian.
Yeah.
Though his first, so that's why his family, they are get him out
Yeah. Disowned him. when he-
because
yeah.
because he becomes a Christian.
Wow.
So he started. Yes, he knows what he wants to do.
Yeah.
He liked a lot, so he started preaching.
Really.
He started preaching, and he is converted many souls. So I love him a lot because he is a great mentor,
Yeah.
great encourager.
Yeah.
He always talking about God, Bible, stories. He liked a lot to teach many things. Many grandpas and many they are the grandpas, grandmoms. Nowadays they're teaching many gospel stories to
Yeah.
them. Yes, he is always do like that. So after that, my father also, he also impacted my father also. So
Mhm.
my father also became a preacher. So we lost my grandfather in May 2000 year.
Mhm.
So after that, I think a lot. After my graduation, okay, I fixed my goal. This is my job.
Yeah. Be like your grandpa.
Yes, be like my grandpa, be like my father.
Mm.
What they did, what they're doing, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I felt like this is my life.
That's your life.
So I chosen that.
That's great.
So I'm doing now preacher and encouraging many persons. And yes, that's my story. And we started two congregations.
That's great.
Me and my father working in two congregation in India. So we have a good membership, and we are doing many good things, good
Yeah.
mission works
Yeah.
through our congregations. We are reaching many people. I feel blessed.
Yeah.
I feel blessed.
Yeah.
It's a great job. It's a precious job. I want to mention again to the all American young people, which one is the greatest and precious and ever wonderful job in this world? It's a preacher.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
So choose the wonderful job. That's I want to tell anytime.
Amen, man. I agree with you.
Yes, sir. Akash.
Okay, Akash, tell me about your story.
Yeah. So my story is a lot different than Praveen's story. So my dad, my grandmom, my dad's mom, she was a widow, and she was a Christian. I think she was some denominational Christian, and
Okay.
my dad was a communist.
Okay.
So he worked for the Communist political party in India
Okay.
for so long. He was an atheist. But so somehow my grandmom, I mean, Indian system is like, it used to be like parents have a lot of impact on what you do.
Yeah.
So for everything you do, parents have a say in that. So my dad's mom kind of tricked him, or like urged him, or kind of forced him to meet a man who's an extended family relative, and he's a preacher. So he had to go meet this man, and that man happened to be a preacher.
Okay.
And so he caught my dad's attention.
Yeah.
He spoke to my dad about Jesus,
Yeah.
and then my dad somehow, he was attracted to Jesus and the Bible, and so he left communism. He left all his political activities, and he was baptized, and he started living the Christian life.
Yeah.
And then because of he wanted to be a Christian, just a good Christian
Yeah.
man all his life. But because of some situations that happened in his life, how God rescued him through some of the health complications that he had,
Yeah.
he decided that since Lord saved my life, I'm going to give this for Lord. And he decided to be a preacher. At the same time, he wanted to have a tent making skill like
Yeah.
Paul.
Yeah.
So for the last 30 years, he worked as a public school teacher in India, and Lord planted 2 churches of Christ in our area through him. So my dad has been part-time preacher, or like a full-time preacher and a full-time teacher.
Yeah.
So doing both full times.
Yeah.
At 2 churches in Tiruvuru and Chanubanda.
Yeah.
And he's a public school teacher, and he just retired in July.
Wow.
He hit the age limit in India, and then he had to retire.
We were talking a little bit about this yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
When he mentions a tent making skill, you look at the book of Acts, and
Yes.
of course through the epistles, Paul talked about how he labored so abundantly and
Yes.
didn't take support from some churches. Like Philippi helped him a little bit, but
Mhm.
he was working as a leather worker, tent maker,
Right.
so that he could basically say, nobody can say I'm doing this for the money, you know?
Yes.
And so some guys in certain countries like America, you have a lot of guys who are just full-time paid preachers, but a lot of
Mhm.
places don't have that privilege.
Yes.
And so you were telling me about his schedule. It was like 9 a.m. to 4, he teaches
Yeah.
school.
So his
Even like on the weekends, he was,
Yeah.
tell us about his schedule.
Indian school system is like you have school, or like the Saturday is also working day for schools. For all schools and colleges, Saturday is a working day. So every day he would wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning. He would get ready, leave the house at 8:30. So he's on his teaching job from 9 o'clock until 4 o'clock in the evening. So it would be 4:30, 5 o'clock by the time he gets back home. He gets back home so this is Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. is a teacher, gets back home, gets ready, and then goes out from 5 p.m. And so it would be like 4 days a week, 3 days a week, sometimes 5 days a week, or like 6 days a week. He would go out to different places, conducting gospel meetings or house-to-house Bible studies or house visitings. So sometimes it would be 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. It would be 5 p.m. to 12 a.m. or 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. the next day.
Mhm.
So he led a busy life, and on Sundays, and Sunday he's a full-time preacher.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
9 a.m.
doesn't get a
to
break.
9 a.m. to 11 a.m. service at one place, and 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. service at another place.
Mhm.
And then sometimes we'd have evening service at our place again. So they'll have to run back again to do this 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. or 6 to 7 p.m. service.
Mhm.
So yeah, he's now full-time in preaching job. He retired from his teaching job.
He retired.
He retired. but
Retired.
yeah, I've been
He
talking to
retired
him.
from one job. Now he doesn't have 2 jobs. He has one job.
So every day I call my parents. I'm like, okay, what are you doing today? I kind of expect the answer that they'd say, oh, we have nothing to do today, but they don't. They're
Yeah.
like, we have this meeting today, this meeting tonight, this meeting tomorrow, this meeting tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how he kept himself busy. And looking at his life made me feel like I should be a preacher.
Yeah.
And I felt like if I'm a full-time preacher, that would give me more opportunity to do more work than he did,
Yeah.
expand more of Lord's
Yeah.
kingdom.
Yeah.
But still, he believed in a tent making skill.
Yeah,
And
you were telling me about that, how he was a big advocate for you of, I know you want to be a preacher and I want you to be a preacher,
Yes.
but you need to develop a skill first. So he's the one, I think the reason that you're in the United States is that
Yes.
because he pushed you?
Right.
Yeah.
So I said, I'll go to a school of preaching after I finish my 12th grade. He said no. After so he made me join a college. I said, okay, I'm done with my college. So school of preaching. He said, no, take up the job that you got. So I did the job. I worked for 2 years. I said, okay, now I think it's the time to go to school of preaching. He said, nope. If you want to go, get masters. So I got masters, and now I'm like, so should I go to school of preaching now? He said, maybe after you finish off your student loans.
Yeah, pay off your
So
student
yes,
loans.
but still, he's a big advocate of
Yeah.
A preacher having a tent making skill,
Yeah. Yeah.
especially in an area like India.
Yeah. Well, I know with limited, but with some of the guys in Africa, it's
Yes.
like, you're like, they want to be preachers, but it's not
Mhm.
like here where the congregations have this vast amount of funds to support.
Right.
So over there, I can think of one young guy who went to school to get his computer science degree
Mhm.
so that he could work, but
Yeah.
then he'd still preach because he'd work and support himself,
Mhm.
and then he would preach. And sometimes those guys are supporting other members of the congregation.
Yes.
I just think it's one of the reasons I like doing this is that sometimes we get so set in the mindset of how American culture works. We forget
Mhm.
that there's other cultures around the world
Right.
that, are members of the New Testament church just as much as we are, but lives are completely different. One of the questions I was going to ask is, what does a week look like in the life of a preacher? And I think we got it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like,
Yes.
the bivocational thing.
Yes.
Is that your grandpa and your grandpa was in the army. Did they have to work as well?
Yes, every day he took his bicycle. He go out and he is reaching people as much as he
Yeah.
can. My father told to me this at maybe sometime. Every day my grandfather he reaching people through his bicycle.
Yeah.
No motor on it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
he covers almost 40 miles
Mm.
each day.
Yeah.
To reach people, to spread the gospel.
Mm.
So every day he is doing that.
Yeah.
I want to let you story. I want to share a story about my father,
Yeah.
how he is and how his thoughts about the preaching
Yeah.
and his work. What it's full time mean. It's a full time preacher mean. It was. I learning a lot from him.
Yeah.
One day, maybe recent 2 years back, he got a chest pain.
Yeah.
So I bring him in hospital.
Yeah.
It's a Thursday. So Thursday night, the doctor said we need to go for the angiogram. You know what's the angio mean? So we done the angiogram. They said there is some blocks in the veins. So they said we need to go for the surgery.
Yeah.
My father, he is on the bed in the ICU department. He's on the bed, and I'm talking with the doctors, and they said we need to go for the surgery.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine, but I'm not prepared for that.
Yeah.
I'm not ready for that. But they said it's urgent now.
Yeah.
It's an urgency. We need to go for the surgery. Okay, I need to talk with my father. I want to let him know about that. Okay, I went to the ICU section. He is just sleep on his bed and he is watching everywhere. He is watching where I am. He's searching for me.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. Okay, hey, Praveen, I'm here. Okay, why I'm here? Tomorrow is Friday. Every Friday, maybe in every congregation, maybe Akash congregation, my congregation, every Friday we have a Bible study hours.
Okay.
In the afternoon sections.
Okay.
So he don't want to miss that. He don't want to anywhere. He don't want to miss that. So he's on the bed.
Yeah.
You remember that he's on the bed, ICU bed
with the heart
so
blockage.
they put all the needles. There's some kind of steps. So he said, "Okay, we can go to the home. Tomorrow is the Bible session we have." He said that. No, Daddy, this is the news. They said to me, this is the situation. No, I'm fine. I'm feeling so good. I don't want to do that. I don't want to stay here. It's not good for me. He said that, and it's so heavy to me.
Yeah.
And I struggle a lot to talk with the doctor. Doctor said, no, you have to stay. My father said, no, we want to go home. After 1 hour, he'd go to the doctor's room.
Yeah.
He asked him, I'm okay. Okay, we will come back to you on Saturday. It is okay to you? Doctor said, no, it's not. Oh no, I go back to home because tomorrow I have a prayer meeting. So I have to go.
So he needs like heart surgery, and he's like, I'll come back after my Bible study.
So that's how committed preachers are in India, and especially in Indian churches, we don't have elders yet in most of the congregations. So preacher is the elder, preacher is the deacon, preacher is the preacher.
Does a lot of work.
So he does a lot of work, and preachers have that commitment to their churches.
Preacher as well as servant. He works everything all in one.
He's doing the song leading the prayers.
He's the song leader. In some churches, preacher is the song leader.
Yes.
In some churches, preacher is the sweeper. He opens up the church buildings, he closes the church buildings. And I know Dad would appreciate this. He would watch this podcast later.
Yeah.
But a similar situation 10 years ago. My dad was diagnosed with this hypertension, blood pressure.
Yeah.
So we had a Bible class that day, and he was suffering with severe left hand pain from 2 days.
Yeah.
And he had the doctor appointment on that day, and he intentionally made the doctor appointment in the afternoon so that he could teach the Bible class in the morning and then go. So he was there with his semi-paralyzed hand.
Oh,
He was
wow.
writing on the board. He taught the class, and then he left. So 90% of the preachers in India are that committed to their ministries and churches.
Not really, not now, maybe. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
It's similar to our father's ages.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are the very committed persons.
Yeah.
But we are educating, encouraging the younger generation,
Yeah.
likewise them.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they said, we are a full-time preacher, but they are just preaching on the Sundays. That's it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
enough. That's not a full-time means. What the
Yes.
full-time means?
Yes.
The committed, what my father and Akash father, what they did, what they're doing.
Yeah.
Still, they are 60s now,
Yeah.
but they are going everywhere. They are preaching so hard, late nights, no rest,
Yeah.
no sleep.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're forgetting to eat.
Yeah.
He also knows about that. About his father. Sometimes they're forgetting about eat.
Yeah.
That's the commitment of a preacher.
Yeah. They would just bike to places
Yeah.
on the bicycles. They
Yeah.
would just bike for miles, for hours, under hot sunny days. Indian atmosphere is more like Texan atmosphere, like
Yeah.
hot and humid. And they would just bike in that atmospheres for hours.
Sometimes
just to
there
reach
is
people.
no good roads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No good roads. Very, very bad situations.
Yeah.
Bad roads. But they will wants to do that.
Yeah.
Because they are committed. We are preacher.
Yeah.
We want to do that.
Yeah.
That's the full-time means.
Yeah.
Yes.
The now younger generation needs to know what the full-time preacher is.
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot for that.
I heard somebody say that when you become a preacher, someone has said, "Are you ready to work half days?"
Mhm.
And the person was like, "Half days," and he's like, "Yeah, 12 hours a day." Like not like 4 hours a day, 8 hour, but half of the day.
Yes.
And I meet a lot of preachers, and especially I know there's some like that in the United States, but the ones I meet overseas a lot of times
Mhm.
are just so busy.
Right.
So tell me about the congregations. The congregations that you grew up in. What are the size? Is it like what I experienced in Africa was? I mean, it's almost similar. There were a lot more smaller congregations, with the main reason of a lot of the people over there didn't have access to their own cars. Or
Mhm.
I remember one time someone said, "Brother Aaron, how far do you walk to your church building?"
Mm.
And I wanted to say, from my car to like 100 yards, 100 feet. 100 yards would be a long walk. You'd think, wow, I really had to park out in the boonies today.
Mm.
But, and when I went to Africa, I'm assuming it's like this in India. You've got, if it's in a city, okay, urban area, okay, you take a taxi or what do they call tuk-tuk? Do they call that?
Yeah. Auto
okay.
rickshaws.
Okay, all right, rickshaw.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
But then there were some people that literally they would spend their money to get to services.
Mhm.
And they would like not have any money to get back sometimes because they're taking taxis a long way, at least in Africa.
Mhm.
So is it like that kind of smaller congregations, a lot more spread out? Like in the United States, you'll have one or two in a city and some people drive 30, 40 minutes to get there.
Mm.
Yeah.
But is it like that in India where they're more spread out and smaller?
Most of the Indian congregations, they used to come by walk. Most of the Indian congregations, few are using their bikes.
Yeah.
That's it. But very, very, very smaller. I mean, the very biggest towns, very small number of congregations, people, they have cars. That's it.
Yeah.
But most of the congregations in India, they used to by walk.
Yeah.
I share a wonderful story.
Yeah,
This is a wonderful story.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to know this about this. We are working in two congregations. I told you before that. So one congregation where me and my father living. We start my father. He started another congregation. It's a 50 miles from us.
Okay.
It's a deep valley place. It's a very very interior like that.
Yeah.
There is no roads, no electricities. In 80s he started there. But before that, why he started there? Because there is a wonderful story behind that.
Yeah.
So, two gentlemen, I mean, one husband and wife, a family. They are living in very interior place.
Okay.
It's a kind of deep valley and forest area.
Okay.
They are visiting. They went to their relative house. Some occasion.
Okay.
They hear the gospel there because there is a one big meeting conducted by some missionaries came to there. So they hear the gospel. Then he accepted that. So they converted.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, you remember that.
Yeah.
You need to hear this great word. They all belongs to the forest area.
Okay.
They are not educated persons.
Yeah.
They don't know anything about the culture. They don't know anything about that. They are very, very innocent persons.
Yeah.
But after they hear that, they receive the gospel.
Yeah.
After they got baptized, they go straight to the preacher who are preached. Who are translated into our own language.
Yeah.
They go to the straight to the preacher. They ask her, okay, we are baptized. What will we do next? What a great question they ask.
What can I do? How can I serve?
Yes. They said, okay, every first day of the week, you need to worship God.
Yeah.
How? They don't know what don't know what is was.
Yeah.
So okay, I can't do that. It's so far from here. You all don't have good roads. I don't want to come your place, but there is a place. It's maybe 40 miles from you.
Yeah.
It's a city. It's a smaller town there. There is a large church.
Yeah.
If you want to go there, that is the place. He gave the address to them. Literally every Sunday. Every Saturday they start the journey by walk. 40 miles.
40 miles.
40 miles. They reach the place and they worship on Sunday. They come back to the homes by walk.
That's wild.
That is the main reason. So the preacher who is the preaching in the same congregation where they are attending, he is really surprised about that. They are coming every day. They are dressing so different from here. So he asked them, where are you coming from? Why you are coming from every day? So they shared their story. This is our story. This is our place. Oh, it's too far from here. How you are coming from? We are coming by walk. That's a deep forest. Yes, through the deep forest. So he surprised a lot. After a few days, there is a big preachers conference going there. So in the preachers conference, my grandfather, he bring my father to that preachers meeting.
Yeah.
My father just graduated that.
Okay.
So he completed his education and he went to my grandfather, and the preacher, he shared the good things and what faith they have.
Yeah.
They are walking from these huge miles. They are all so surprised about that. And he asked about this. He raised a question.
Yeah.
If any one of you wants to work in their place, there is no roads, no electricity, no drinking water, no facilities. My father, he raised his hand. Yes, I want to do that.
Wow.
So after that, he went to that place. He don't know how to reach that place. It's a deep forest, but he reached it finally and he started work. And now we have a 120 membership there.
120 members?
Yes. Because of the two persons, we have a 120 membership.
Because those two people. And imagine if those two people were never willing to.
Nowadays, just church building, just behind of my house. I don't want to come early.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
What's their faith?
Yeah.
That's the faith means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great story.
Yes. And another congregation is where we are living right now. It's a 70 membership we have. So that's our congregations. Yeah. That's a great story, I think.
That is. And Akash, what in your area, do you know the story of how the congregation came to be there? Like, what's the history of it? Thanks for watching the Authentic Christian Podcast. If you want to watch more content like the Authentic Christian, different programs, other podcasts that you want to learn about the Bible, I'd recommend you download our app, the Gospel Broadcasting Network app. Just get on the App Store. You also can find it on Roku, iTunes, etc. Search Gospel Broadcasting Network, download the app, and you can see the show, The Authentic Christian, and many, many other shows, dozens of shows, other podcasts, other shows that walk you through verse by verse through different books of the Bible, or even just different topical shows. So I would recommend you download the Gospel Broadcasting Network app. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Or in your region, or
So talking about Churches of Christ in India in general.
Yeah.
So it's like Canadian and American missionaries. They came to India in the 60s.
Yeah.
One of them is Mr. J.C. Bailey, through whom Praveen's grandfather is saved.
Okay.
So these missionaries came to India. They came to southern part of India.
Okay.
And first their base was a place in northeastern part of India. It's called Assam.
Okay.
It's a state,
Okay.
and they were based in that area, and they tried to reach out to different places in India, and they
Okay.
saw some prospect in southern part of India.
Yeah.
So they came to this area. They spoke to young men.
Yeah.
They converted them to be Christians, and then Sunset International Institute, now it was called Sunset School of Preaching before. So they had a school of preaching in Madras, in southern part of India,
Okay.
where they trained like thousands of young men.
Okay.
And the first and second batches are like the huge, how do I say this? Like giants of faith. Like those men, they came out and they went to places where there is no Christianity.
Yeah.
They went to places where they were threatened.
Yeah.
They went to places where they were almost like knocked out of that communities.
Yeah.
So they went to different places all over the area.
Yeah.
And they started their own congregations with some help from the American brothers and sisters.
Okay.
They had schools of preaching, they had Bible institutes, they had Bible schools, and they did a lot of benevolence works like orphanages, widow homes, and many other ministries. So through them, many other preachers were trained.
Yeah.
And my dad is one of those preachers who went to such Bible school there.
Huh.
So my dad, he graduated from that Bible school with his teaching job. He came out and he came to our place because he had to work in that area.
Yeah.
And while he was working in that area, when he started to think that he should be a preacher, he happened to know the family of his brother's in-laws.
Okay.
So that means my uncle's in-laws.
Yeah.
They were Christians.
Okay.
They know about Church of Christ,
Okay.
but they didn't have any preacher.
Yeah.
So my dad thought, okay, I'll go and talk to them. And so eventually he discovered that the Church of Christ that they know was not Church of Christ, but they just had the title.
Yeah.
So he did some Bible study with them. And the church started in Chanubanda.
Okay.
For American audience, it's CNB. You can call it CNB.
Okay.
So in that CNB area, the church started with 60 people.
Okay.
And now we have like the church membership is like around 120, the same as Praveen's church. But on an average, we have 80 to 100 attendance in that church.
That's great.
And so he had to move to other place called Tiruvuru.
Okay.
It's called TVR for
TVR,
American
okay.
audience. So TVR is the place where he decided that he will live for his life.
Okay.
So we had a little house, and then he was like, why can I not start a church here?
Yeah.
So he started a mini house church with 2 families.
Yeah.
He had a contact. He found some lead through a family, a friend of a family, and he was like, okay, he started that church. And that house church grew to a church of size. Our membership is around 80, but we'll have a weekly attendance about 50 to 60. And till today, the church in our place in TVR meets at our house. So we dedicated the upper story to be our church building. But that hall, which we have dedicated, is not big enough to house all the people.
Yeah.
So it's like we have chairs, and all the other little kids, they sit on the floor and they go all the way until the back.
Really?
So yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. What are the biggest challenges that you would see for the church? Because, you have a lot of religiously minded people who believe in a God, and you have a lot of opportunity for evangelism. What are some of the challenges that you think Christians or preachers, I guess maybe Christians in general, face in India? What are the challenges for the growth of Christianity?
So one big challenge that Indian Christianity is facing right now is persecutions. There has been a lot of anti-Christian communities growing in India. There has been anti-Christians all over the world.
Sure.
And even in India, when the first generation Churches of Christ preachers were trying to plant churches, there was anti-Christianity. But now it's growing more and more. We feel like as people get more educated, they become more intelligent. But the mentality of Indian youth, or the mindset of Indian youth, as they get more educated, they are becoming more ignorant. So they don't understand the concept of secularity.
Yeah.
Or there has been a kind of teaching to unite all India on the basis of religion.
Mm-hmm.
So that religious feeling is kind of getting on Christians and other religions too.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of causing a lot of persecutions to Indian Christians. So once upon a time, you could go to any village, you can have a gospel meeting, and like 200 people can sit there, and you can have a PA system as loud as you can.
Yeah.
But now you cannot do that. If you have to have like a PA system which would reach until the end of the street, you'll have to go to the police department, you'll have to get a special permission.
Wow.
And people who cooperated with churches 5 years ago are now against the churches right now. So for example, a church would be in a society or in a street. All the people in the church, in the street would not come to church, but they would be following different religions. They would be kind of supportive to church, or maybe not even supportive. They wouldn't say anything about the church. But now they are kind of opposite to the church. They are like, how can we stop this? And so there has been many anti-Christian communities, and they have really big sources which fund them. They have really strong powers behind them, who kind of push them to carry on persecutions. We expected that as people get more educated, they become more open to Christianity, because our way of reaching out to people is always rational. We question people, we make them think. But I think it's this satanic act that his way is to make people ignorant. They don't want to think rationally. Instead, they just want to go with the thoughts that they have in their mind.
Well, it made me think of, 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 18, where it says, for the message of the cross is foolishness to those who are perishing, but to us who are being saved, it is the power of God.
Yes.
For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise and bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent.
Yes.
Where is the wise? Where is the scribe? Where is the disputer of this age? Has God not made foolish the wisdom of this world? And he goes on to say, verse 25, the foolishness of God is wiser than men. And that whole section of scripture there is that, the people that the world sees as knowledgeable and mighty and noble, many times the powerful people in the world aren't following Christianity, but those who are, humble or poor spiritually, those people, Jesus said is not the poor of the world that he chose to be rich in faith.
Right.
And so a lot of times, like you say, we're saying, hey, this is a logical argument. You'd think that the more educated people became, the closer they'd be drawn to Christianity. But a lot of times it seems to be the opposite.
Yes.
So I could see, persecution would be that'd be a huge challenge.
Yes, the Antichrist people.
Is it like that all over India, essentially?
Yes.
Most areas?
So it used to be more in the northern part of India, but now it's creeping down to the southern part of India.
Yes, now.
Yeah, before it was, that's what I said. Like in the olden times, when I say olden times, I'm not talking about 60s or 70s.
Yeah.
Even in 2010s, it was a lot easier for a preacher to talk to people who doesn't know Jesus. Very easy, but now it's very hard. And one more thing is that these anti-Christian groups come up with a lot of ignorant stuff from the Bible. So
yes, that's right.
So you talk to not any, but most of the young people in India, and you try to talk to them about Bible, and they already know about the Bible. They don't know about scriptures. They don't know who Jesus is, but they know few things that are controversial. Bible doesn't contradict. But who, like, for a person outside of the Bible, for a person who doesn't know Jesus, or for a person who doesn't know the Lord of the hosts, they might seem a little bit weird. So these are the questions they have in their mind, and they always try to debate with you, and they just say that is a black book. Our Bibles have like a black cover on them, and they just say that's a black book. It has black magic in it, and everything that preaches about is just black.
Yes, that's right. The Antichrist people, they're educating people in wrong way. They're using same verse. What Satan did in the Matthew chapter 4. Exactly. So he is using the same scriptures to the Christ, but he is leading almost wrong way.
Yeah.
So that is exactly what the antichrist people now doing in India. They are joking, they are doing many ridiculous words about the Bible, about the God, about the Christ. Yes, these maybe they are. Yes, what you said and what you read in the first Corinthians chapter. Yes, that's exactly right.
It's interesting to me too, because the way that Satan works, he's been doing the same thing for 6,000 years. Right. And so when I'm hearing this, all I can think of is what I've read in early church history about in Rome, the way they turned the people against the Christians is they would say, in Roman culture, you have the Greek and the Roman gods. It was a pantheon, and they would call Christians atheists because they only believed in one God, not all the gods. And then they would say, well, the Christians, the husbands and the wives call each other's brothers and sisters. So they would say that they commit incest. It's like, no, that's not what. And they would say Christians are cannibals because Jesus said that the Lord's Supper, this is my body and this is my blood. So all these things that Christians didn't believe, they were twisting them to turn people against them. Yes. And so it's like you look throughout church history, and this has happened time and time again. Yeah. And it's like you'd think that people would learn, but the devil realizes some people don't want to learn. He just uses the same tactics,
Yeah. And now that you've mentioned about the church in Rome or like Roman history, we have the exact same things that are happening right now in India.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
Rome killed people.
Yeah.
And Indian preachers are being killed.
Really?
And there are videos over the internet. This is not something that I come up on my own or something that's just happening in my area or like certain parts of India, but all over the India, preachers are being beaten to death. Preachers are being stripped out of their clothes. If they have a bunch of Bibles in their cars or on their bicycles or on their motorcycles, most of the people, anti-Christian groups, they just throw those Bibles on the road and they just light them. So they are burning the Bibles and songbooks.
They're burning church buildings also.
Yeah, they are burning down church buildings. Yeah. And another thing with Roman government, it's like if you are a Christian and if you are not in one of the trade unions, you cannot do any business. You lose your income. The same thing. So
that's so funny because in the book of Revelation, what happened in early church history was you had to be a part of a trade guild,
right?
And if you would not offer a pinch of incense on the altar and say Dominus et Deus in Latin, Caesar is Lord and God, they would exclude you from the trade unions and you couldn't buy or sell.
Yeah,
and so the same thing is happening.
Yeah, the same thing in India. It's like, and it's like wild. So people, it's always the case, even in the US. Most of the times, poor people are the ones who would be willing to listen to the word.
Yeah.
Rich people have their mindset on their riches. Yeah. So we go to poor people and people who are downtrodden, who are seen as untouchables. And now when those poor people obey the gospel and when they become Christians, now they would be told, okay, since if you belong to that poor caste or if you identify with that Hindu caste, you would be given certain subsidies from government. Yeah. If you turn to a Christian, you will lose those subsidies. You will lose those reservations that you have in federal government or state government jobs. Yeah. Or sometimes you would lose the subsidies that you're getting.
Yeah.
So that scares a lot of people.
Yeah.
So in olden times, it would be easy. So poor people would just obey the gospel. But now, even though they love Jesus, they want to obey gospel. They obey that in their hearts, but that's not enough. Jesus wanted everyone to confess him as Lord and Savior to the whole world.
Yeah.
But they cannot do that because it's the same exact thing that's going on that went on with the church.
Yeah, Jesus basically said, count the cost.
Yeah.
And those people are having to literally count. They're already poor.
Right.
And they're going to lose these subsidies.
Yeah.
So it's like they're literally having to, like, if you become a Christian, your life will be harder.
Yeah. And very recently there was a news coverage where just because a family obeyed the gospel, they were completely knocked out of the community.
Really?
So they cannot live with the community. Actually, they belong to a community that lives outside of the village.
Yeah.
So now they cannot even live with the community. So it's like they live outside of the village. They cannot live with the community. So now they have to live in the wilderness.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I remember seeing news stories, I want to say a year or so ago. somebody reached out to me on Instagram and was telling me, and they sent me some videos of like where it was news stories where like they would go into a community that was Christians and just burn the whole community.
Yes.
Just set it on fire, burn the church building, people's homes.
Yeah. YouTube has like ton of videos where, so you can see videos in which the church would sit there. The churches are so poor that they don't have any like proper buildings.
Yeah.
They would just cover the roof with tarps.
Yeah.
So the church would sit inside, they would be worshiping, and some anti-Christian groups would go and they would just literally strip the tarp off, or they would just throw some gasoline on that tarp and light it while people are still inside. Yeah.
You know, you read through the New Testament and you see the way that, like in Hebrews chapter 10, it talks about how, you know, don't give up on the faith because some of you even had your property repossessed.
Yes.
You know, and I read that and I'm like, what would that be like for some, you know, like I'm thinking of the property that I own, like our home, like how would I handle it if someone took that away because I was a Christian? And you're like, oh, well, Americans, it's like, oh, well, you know, that doesn't happen anymore. And then it's like, you look around the world and you talk to people from different all the way across the country, you know, around the world in India. And you're like, no, that sort of thing is still happening. You know, people are still being persecuted and
but still, like on the brighter side, Indian people, people who obeyed the gospel are so much willing to learn more. Our Indian people want to learn because being the most populous country in the world, people want to learn about Jesus. And maybe 60% of the churches who have buildings in India, the land that they have would have been land that is donated by one of the church members. So it's like their land is not repossessed by government, but they just gave it away for church building. So that happens with most of the churches in rural areas. That is the commitment that people have towards the church, towards Jesus. But it's just that Satan is working his way and he's working stronger than ever.
So what would you know, with the American audience, which is going to be a majority of the people that watch this, there's still a lot of people over Europe and, you know, different countries in the world. What else would you like what would you say to the Americans watching? What can American congregations do to encourage and support our brethren in India?
So one thing I'd say is, the major thing that we need is prayer. Prayer is the strongest weapon in the whole world. It's stronger than any missile, any hydrogen bomb or anything. And the major thing that we want is prayer, because even when Peter was in jail, the church prayed. So your brothers and sisters in India are being persecuted and we want your prayers. And of course, to carry forward ministry in India, we need support. And if you can support ministries and missions in India, please do that. Almost like most of the churches in the US are somehow, one way or the other, tied with mission work in India. It could not be our mission, but mission work in India. We want Lord's work to happen. We don't want our work to happen. We don't want us to be famous. We want Lord to be known. So talk to your churches, talk to your leadership, find a mission that you can be part of. Since we are Indians, we want to save. We don't want any other. I mean, not saying that we don't want other parts of the world or other missions to be stopped, but we are the most populous country in the world. Like, out of 8 billion people, almost 1.5 billion people are in India. So India needs more missions. India needs more missionaries. If you don't have any mission work that you can find, you can support our mission. We need help. We need support.
You can, if you want to try and get in touch with these two guys, you can email AuthenticChristianPodcast@gmail.com and we can connect you to them. But that's like you're saying. I mean, I'm thinking.
Wonderful. And I want to say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Man. Dear brothers and sisters in United States or all around the world, we are in the battleground. We are fighting a lot for uphold the truth. So we need all your prayers. That's it. We need all from you. Because Akash already told about prayer is the greatest weapon. So we need a lot of prayer need. So this is the time to pray. Just close your eyes and pray just 1 minute for India. That is the biggest thing, biggest benefit to us. So please remember in your prayers about India. This is the time to pray.
So there is kind of a little impression on Indian missions, or like some of the Indian preachers, that maybe because of some unfaithful servants, there has been a little bad impression on India missions.
Yeah.
But of course, there are like unfaithful servants everywhere.
Sure. Absolutely.
Jesus himself had an unfaithful servant.
He did.
And there's no wonder that, I mean, Judas Iscariot,
sure.
he saw Jesus's deeds with his very own eyes.
Yeah.
He saw, like, he was a part of Jesus's miracles.
Yeah.
Jesus did miracles through him,
Yeah.
but still he was unfaithful.
Yeah.
And there are unfaithful servants all over the world.
That's right.
There are people who claim to be working all over the world. There could be a preacher in America. He could be just preaching on Sundays, and he could not be doing. I'm not saying that there are people in America, but there could be people like that. And of course, there are unfaithful servants all over the world. And just because one person is unfaithful, it doesn't make all Indian servants unfaithful.
That's right.
And we are there trying to fight battles, as Praveen said, on the battleground, fighting persecutions. And another impression that India missions has is that India missions is like more like rice bag missions.
Yeah.
Like you just convert people. This is in anti-Christians call Christianity as a rice bag religion because they just say, oh, you attract poor people with a bag of rice. So if we actually attracted poor people with a bag of rice, there would be Christians just until the bag of rice is finished.
Yeah.
And we cannot be supplying them bags of rice until the end of their lives because resources are very little. But people who were converted with that one bag of rice, their children and their grandchildren are now huge pillars in the congregations that we minister to. Of course, we helped many people. We still help many people with groceries and everything. But that doesn't make Christianity in India a rice bag religion. And we badly want to fight that. That is one of our life targets. We want to make Christianity as a way of life rather than a religion, or a religion that just preaches its way by just supplying some goodies or doing some benevolence deeds.
Yeah.
Benevolence is just a part of our work.
Yeah.
But our work is to proclaim Jesus.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And, I know that, so tell me about some of the work that you guys are doing, because, I know that, I've spoken at the Bremen Church of Christ in Bremen, Georgia. I know Chad Dollahite and the elders there are great. And that's who oversees your work. And so tell me about, like, you're training preachers. Is that the main thing you're doing?
Yeah. Yes, sir. We have a institution. It's a Bible institution. It's called Reach Institution. And we are conducting the classes in 3 different places in our state. And now we have 62 students, and we are teaching them. We are training them like a preacher. We have a biggest dream. We have a biggest target. It's called Project 10,000. Our mission called Project 10,000. It means we want to train 10,000 preachers to send out all around our state, because we have many people. So it's the work is plenty. So that's our part. That's our dream. So we are doing that. Our job. It's we are seeing many great results. Our students reaching people. That's we called our institution name was Reach.
Yeah.
We are reaching people, and many conversions are going there. It's a wonderful results we seeing. And also, the situation exactly what in India now, what we are persecutions, these troubles, we are encouraging congregations also. It's called we call that PAP program, Preacher Adoption Program.
Okay.
That means we are encouraging a preacher, and we are also encouraging a congregation, because many congregations now in India, they want to stop their work. They want to close their church buildings sometimes because they are so much afraid about all these. They are scared about. So we are encouraging all around our area.
Yeah.
So that's our mission works we are doing now. It's a great results we are seeing, and many conversions. So if anyone wants to know about our work, you can contact Brother Aaron.
And I'll forward the emails to you.
Yes. He knows everything. And yes.
What are some of the goals that you have?
So I'll just go over like very briefly about what we do, or most of what my dad does, and what I'm just assisting my dad with.
Yeah.
So we used to have a Bible school at we supported orphan kids.
Yeah.
We still support one boy, but back in 2010s, we supported like 70 to 20 orphan boys just at our house.
Yeah.
And with some of the strict regulations with the government and the churches that were working with my dad, they said we could only help you for like 5 years.
Yeah.
So with that 5 years of support that he received, he was able to support some orphan kids. And we also had a Bible school. The same churches that helped my dad, they said 5 years, and for 5 years we had Bible school. And then we tried to run that Bible school solely on what we get from our two congregations in TVR and CNB.
Yeah.
And it was very hard for the churches to raise funds for the Bible school. So we kind of halted that for like 10 years for now. But now we restarted that Bible school again. So now we kept it rolling. We cannot support any preachers at present, but we are looking for sponsoring congregations or like any congregation that would love to oversee our work. We are looking for churches who could help us, and so that we could help a ton of preachers. We have like ton of preachers in our area who are poor. They have some tent making skill, but that doesn't generate them a lot of revenue. That helps them to pay for their monthly bills and groceries. But if they have to reach out to different people, they need some support. And we want to be a pass-through for all those preachers. Our ministry want to be a part of that. And apart from that, with the funds that my dad generated with his job, and with the offerings that we get in TVR and CNB churches, we do marriage retreats. It's like a 1-day retreat for a couple. We have like ton of response every single time. So all the time, all these years, my dad would have, or like our church would have a limit for 200 couples or like 100 couples. Because if it goes beyond that, we cannot pay for them, or like we cannot sponsor lunch for them. But every single time my dad gets calls, like after the registrations are closed, he gets like calls from 50 couples asking if there are any spots. And my dad, with a hard heart, he had to say no to them. But with support, we could do that. And this marriage retreat has a lot of testimonies. Husbands who are abusive, I'm not saying that they'll stop being abusive, but women or wives saw a change in their behavior. And that is the only time in Indian culture that a husband and wife gets to sit together.
Really?
In Indian culture, it's like if you go to a church, men sit on one side and women sit on another side. No church you see men and women sitting together. And that is the only day where men and women get to sit together, and wives are super happy because they can elbow their husbands when the required point, when the point that is needed to husband comes in. And apart from marriage retreats, we have youth classes or like youth seminars. We bring in youth and we have youth seminars. We have, my dad trains preachers. And we do benevolence works. We help poor people with groceries, and we sometimes help poor preachers like a one-time support if they have to pay some medical bills or anything else. And one interesting thing that I want to share that I started in India in 2022 is this thing called Gen Z and Millennial Leadership Search. So young people, they want to be a part of leadership, but they don't know where to start. So what I did was I chose few people and I talked to those young men. It's like, would you be interested in talking to a crowd of 400 people? At first they were scared, but 5 of them were interested. So I chose those 5 of them and I trained them what to speak. So this is 5-minute time slot that you will have. So you can speak on this. So this is the thing that you'll be speaking. So I made them stand there and I made them preach to like empty chairs. And they started speaking. I gave them the opportunity to speak in our youth classes in front of 400 people. And they have never spoken in front of a gathering of like 10 people. So that kind of boosted their leadership skills. And they felt that, okay, now I can preach. And all of them are now serving in some capacity in the churches that they attend to. Either like they preach, they can teach, or they can do anything, any leadership capacity. They are not married yet. They are just Gen Zs and millennials.
Yeah.
But it's a great leadership skill, and I wish to train more of those kids.
Yeah.
So whole and soul, combining all our ministries together. My dad and I together want to train as many as young men, teens, young adults, and of course older men too,
Sure.
to be preachers.
Yeah.
And not just any full-time preacher, or not like a preacher who's dependent on the money that he gets from church, but like a preacher with a tent making skill.
Yeah.
So I want to do. I don't have a target yet, but I want
as many as you can.
send out as many as people as I can.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I was mentioning to you guys earlier, I was telling you about somebody invited me to India years ago, and I haven't had the time to go. But I was talking to them, and at the end of the book of Acts, I have written in my Bible, church tradition of how all the apostles died, because it's interesting to me. It's not in scripture, it's not inspired, but when I look at, I'll just read you what I have. I have written at the end of Acts chapter 28 and verse 31 in my Bible. I have death of the apostles, and I have Matthew 24:9. Then they shall deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then I have James died in Acts chapter 12 and verse 2. Herod Agrippa the first killed James with the sword. And then the rest of the apostles, other than John, who seems allegedly to die of old age, I have all of them written down. So I have Paul tortured and beheaded in Rome, Bartholomew flayed alive, then beheaded in Armenia, Thaddeus beaten to death in Persia, Matthew killed by a sword in Ethiopia, Peter crucified upside down on an X-shaped cross by Rome, Andrew crucified in Patras of Achaia, Matthias stoned in Jerusalem, then beheaded, Philip crucified, Simon the Zealot crucified, James the son of Alphaeus stoned in Jerusalem, John the only apostle to die a natural death, and then I have Thomas stabbed with a spear in India.
Yes.
And so after the Great Commission was given, the apostles all went out across the world,
Yes. Sir.
spreading the gospel. And 2,000 years later, there are still preachers in India
Yes, sir.
who are doing the same thing. And there are still preachers who are facing
sir.
persecution in India.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Since we are speaking about Thomas right now,
Yeah.
I already told this to a group of people that we were presenting our works to. But one thing we want American churches, or like American brothers and sisters, to know is that Praveen and I, not just the two of us, but all the other Indian preachers right now are standing in front of death.
Yeah.
So Apostle Thomas, when he was praying, he was someone threw a spear, and that just pierced through him, and it struck the ground. So if you visit that place, there's still the statue of him praying, and you could see how the spear pierced through his body, and he was still knelt down praying. Our target, when we talk to each other, we say that when we die, it should be our last day in ministry. We don't plan to retire. I mean, on a long-term basis, we don't plan to retire. No preacher in India ever talks about retirement. When I first came here, and when I heard about preachers talking about their retirement, I was pretty surprised.
Yeah.
But no preacher in India ever would want to retire.
Yeah.
We want to die as preachers. And am I going to die when I'm 26? I'm ready. If that death comes to me through persecutions, I'm ready. We want the gospel to be broadcasted.
Yeah.
So the word broadcast in Greek also means to sow, like to throw away. Like it relates to the parable of sower.
Yeah.
So we want to be broadcasters of gospel.
That's right.
That could be that could cost us anything.
Yeah.
That could cost us our lives. It could be the cruelest way of taking our life possible. But we are standing here. We are just asking for prayers.
This is our first interview on video like this. This is very new to us.
You're doing great.
Maybe this is the last. Maybe in future, we don't know. We don't know anything about after we go back to India, what will happen. maybe this is our first and last interview, maybe, but remember our words.
We hope we'll have
You
many
hope
other
this is not
interviews
the last one,
with many other
Yeah.
people. But yes,
Yes,
Yeah, sorry.
maybe it's our first and last interview ever, but it's our final words. Maybe sometimes pray for us.
Mhm.
Pray for the work of Lord, and reach as much as you can,
Mhm.
because as a Christian, it's your duty to reach at least one person, to bring them to the Lord's church.
yeah.
That's my last word. If maybe what happened tomorrow, we don't
Yeah.
know about that.
As human beings, of course, we are a little selfish. So we ask more prayers for the work that we are doing.
Sure.
But in general, we are asking that you pray for us when we say not just both of us,
Yeah.
but it's for the work in India.
Yes.
And what can you do? If you can help India missions, help that.
Yeah.
Or if your church is doing any other missions, it could be Honduras, it could be South American or European, or a mission in Malaysia or Indonesia or any other place. Help that missions, because America, compared to other countries, is blessed in
Absolutely.
geography,
That's right.
in financially,
Yep.
or in many other ways.
Yeah.
It's blessed.
Yeah.
And we request you that you bless other people through you. And of course, we see many testimonies, not in the world, but in the word itself. When you bless others, you are blessed. Your blessings are multiplied.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys coming on here and talking about this. And
Mhm.
Praveen, Akash, thank you guys.
Thank
for
you
being
so
here.
much, brother.
Thank you for your work. And I know that I'll be praying a lot more for India.
Yeah.
This will be a great reminder for me.
Yeah. Thank you so much for
And-
giving us a wonderful opportunity.
Yeah.
And please, again and again, please remember, work in India in your prayers. I have a wonderful, beautiful wife. She is so much supporting to me, and I have 2 kids. So we are working in 2 congregations. If you want to know many things about us, you can contact Brother Aaron. He will let us know about that.
I will.
Yeah.
I will.
Yes,
And,
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Thank you very much for giving us this great opportunity to talk about the work in India. And we are not just representing both of our works, but we are representing all the missions in India.
Yeah.
To American viewers who are watching, we are also representing the work that your missionaries are doing in India.
That's right.
So this is a general idea of what we are doing. But as Praveen said, if you can support any of our missions, please reach out to us. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
I think you guys encouraged me more than I encouraged you. So appreciate it.
Yes.
Thanks for watching this episode of the Authentic Christian Podcast. I'm Aaron. This is Praveen. This is Akash. We'll see you back on the next episode. Remember to pray for India.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching the Authentic Christian Podcast. If you want to watch more content like the Authentic Christian, different programs, other podcasts that you want to learn about the Bible, I'd recommend you download our app, the Gospel Broadcasting Network app. Just get on the App Store. You also can find it on Roku, iTunes, etc. Search Gospel Broadcasting Network, download the app, and you can see the show, The Authentic Christian, and many, many other shows, dozens of shows, other podcasts, other shows that walk you through verse by verse through different books of the Bible, or even just different topical shows. So I would recommend you download the Gospel Broadcasting Network app. Thanks for watching.